Receive 6:30 greetings from my Major Prime. You're welcome to the Friday edition of Prime News. We are live from Douala. My name is BLANCHE Peldrine Blanche King. Road users along the Bamenda-Bali stretch to Mamfe, Akok and neighboring Nigeria are lamenting over the recent ban on circulation. They say their colleagues have been trapped along the road with a total of about 50 vehicles, passengers on board and some perishable goods. They're hoping that something be done about this and fast. Our reporter from Quinta compiled their grievances.
Vehicles grounded, passengers stranded and park deserted. This is the situation of the Bali Park in hospital roundabout few days after the senior divisional officer for MESAM, Simon Emil Moore, restricted the circulation of motorbikes within Bali subdivision, northwest region of Cameroon for a period of 3 months. Responding to the senior divisional officer's restriction on circulation, separatist fighters are said to have equally restricted movement along the road for 3 months. Drivers plying this road shared tear-provoking experiences in pidgin English.
Both the two come, they will not be free. They go for this side, they go burn their motor. That boy, they go burn the motor, or they kill the driver. So we will not go with for risking our lives and the vehicles. So we don't do that. Now the reason that way we will cram the motor and not to go walk.
Another driver using the stretch laments extortion by some unscrupulous uniform officers.
From the beginning, the road before worry oneself, before the one block ourselves, control. Too much control for the road. They worry we. Then they make an answer way, they don't finish up block and so we don't get no money. Begin the day we wrong where they supposed to go classes. We know they will get money now. For send begin the now they go for classes. We know they will even chop so we don't get time because the very road they so now they give it chop.
A motorcycle rider in Bali affected by the ban believes government is in a better position to reverse the situation.
Me in particular, I be Okada rider for Bali. I defeat my family that through that Okada. But presently, we're not there for me for feed my family again. So I look that that's the condition we live for this no to survive. The government look which way if it change the condition we don't go inside, make a be favorable for we. For system it will be like other people them.
To this other driver, extortion at the level of transport officials plus the 3 months ban on circulation only increases their hardship.
For the pay book that expire, as we stand now, so nobody expire, we know the go we work. It expire. But tomorrow you won't come, they will bring you, they will say bring book for motor, you have the one don't finish, on Monday for your sleep. Say you must go pay book, or you give 100,000, or you give 50,000.
Just like drivers, the ban on circulation of vehicles has affected passengers who can't go about their daily activities.
Standing here like this, I was supposed to be in the pub for my business trip. I cannot go because of the road blockage. So the area they can do something better so that they should open the road to help everybody.
These other passenger says he is stuck in Bamenda while his family is in Mamfe.
Leaving my village yesterday to go to where I'm staying. I'm staying in Mamfe. So unfortunately for me to reach Bamenda down here, I discovered that the road is blocked in Bali. That vehicles heading to Mamfe, Ekok, they cannot pass through Bali now. So the thing is really affecting us.
The decision restricting the circulation of vehicles by the senior divisional officer for MESAM comes after the Sunday, July 19 attack by separatist fighters killing at least 5 police officers. Road users, who are the most affected, are pleading with government officials to intervene so movement can once more be restored along the Bamenda-Bali, Mamfe-Ekok road.
The sum of 200 billion francs CFA has been disbursed by state banks and microfinance institutions to boost the production of cocoa and coffee in the country. The agreement comes as a result of adverse economic effects hitting this sector. Darling Gonde tells us more in the following report.
Small and medium-sized enterprises, including cocoa and coffee producers in Cameroon, are expected to be helped following the signing of a guarantee agreement between state banks and state microfinance institutions. During the convention meeting in Yaoundé, the Minister of Finance, Louis-Paul Moutazé, while presiding the signing ceremony, reiterated government's commitment in strengthening bilateral cooperations between the state and banking institutions to enable small and medium-sized enterprises obtain low-interest loans.
It's going to help regenerate the activities, when the economic activities are moving on. The rest of the thing follow employment, businesses will grow, and we stand able to benefit more from this convention.
Following the adverse effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly on these sectors, the sum of 200 billion francs CFA has been allocated for their revival.
That will enlarge the capacity of the banking sector to give loans to those enterprises. They should be part of the priority sectors. That will be the beneficiaries of the initiative.
This initiative by the government, it should be noted, is geared towards achieving a gradual economic recovery during this period where the coronavirus pandemic is a non-respecter of nothing.
Travelers who used National Road Number 3 earlier today spent hours along the Puma stretch in the littoral region on their way to Yaoundé. This was because of a road accident involving a truck transporting planks. Eyewitnesses say while descending the slope, the woods which were not properly loaded gave way, causing the truck to turn over and crash. Fortunately, no lives were lost nor injuries recorded, but the accident temporarily affected circulation, leaving road users frustrated for hours before the intervention of forces of law and order. Away from that, the CRM Republican March that was announced to denounce tribalism, a call for the return of peace in the northwest, southwest and far north regions of Cameroon has been banned. The protest slated for July 25, 2021 was banned by Divisional Officer for Yaoundé 1, Nyanji Magua, who cited COVID-19 scare and possible public disorder that the march could cause. And Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, Joseph Betia Somo, was on a 2-day working visit to the West region to maintain order and take note of happenings. He was received in Bafoussam yesterday by the Governor of the West region, Awafonka Augustine, and he equally paid a visit to Bambutu's division where violence and targeted attacks have been recorded recently. He was on this visit under high instructions from the head of state, His Excellency President Paul Biya. Away from that, 4 alleged baby thieves are currently under custody. They are accused of stealing a baby during a funeral in the West region weeks ago. News of the disappearance of the 7-month-old baby led to investigations and subsequent arrest of these suspects. Our reporter Nora Kakibi compiled the following.
The 6-month-old baby, who was allegedly stolen earlier this month, has been found at last. EWANE Maxime Fandio, who was taken away from his parents by unknown persons at a funeral ground in Manengole, Mongo North, is presently in the safety and comfort of his mother's arms. The boy's mother, whose world seemed crushed, did not waste any time in alerting the security officers in Manengole. The security officers on their part immediately launched investigations in which the alleged thieves were later tracked down.
It was around the 8th, the 9th of this month when a lady came and complained, deposited her complaint at the company, the Nangri company in Asamba, for the theft of a child. Immediately, the company commander organized step down by the National Union to Manengole. That's where we succeeded to get the thief.
The now happy mother narrates her desperation and how her baby disappeared at a funeral vigil in Manengole. I live in Kongsamba, but I was attending my aunt's funeral at Manengole. At about 11 p.m., I joined other family members to enjoy the dance groups while the baby was asleep with my younger brother's friend in the room. On checking the baby, I discovered he was nowhere to be found. All efforts to retrieve my baby proved futile, and I immediately reported to the gendarmerie officers. According to the alleged baby thieves, the baby was meant to be sold for 500,000 francs CFA. Fortunately, the 4 of them have been apprehended and are currently under custody awaiting justice. Meanwhile, the baby's mother has expressed gratitude and is equally thankful to the law enforcement officers for their efforts in fishing out such bad elements in the society.
Ahead of the upcoming African Cup of Nations competitions, which will take place in the country, Prime Minister, head of government, has called on all those concerned to review strategies to promote Cameroon's potential and boost tourism and leisure, especially towns that will host this upcoming event. Apart from hosting the event, Cameroon has to benefit from it and project a positive image, according to the Prime Minister. Nora Kakebi completes the story.
Cameroon's Prime Minister and Head of Government, Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Goute, yesterday, July 22nd, 2021, chaired a meeting towards enhancing the tourism potentials. The extraordinary session, which took place at the Star Building, was meant to intensify preparations towards the upcoming African Nations competition due to take place in the country next year. The Prime Minister urged all stakeholders charged with various responsibilities on tourism to galvanize their efforts, get committed and boost Cameroon's tourism potentials. Apart from boosting and enhancing Cameroon's tourism sector and leisure activities, as part of the meeting's agenda, Chief Dion Goute equally stressed the need to draw as much benefit and advantages from the upcoming competition as well as projecting a positive image of the nation. Preparations must be intensified with regards to hotel facilities and other important infrastructures within the country. Overseeing the various strategies used to get all this done was paramount, as Cameroon has just 6 months to host the AFCON competition. According to the Minister of Tourism in Cameroon, Bello Buba Maigari, hotel facilities, the different host cities for the big event, health checks for personnel, catering services and other tourism logistics have been upgraded to promote Cameroon's destination not only in Africa but across the globe.
This session had also to listen to the draft strategy of communications. This very important event should be communicated not only in the country, but in Africa and even in the world. So my duty is to see that the strategy is implemented.
On his part, the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Ilanga Obam, equally said the efforts are ongoing to improve signposts, parking lots, as well as drawing up tourist guides for host towns ahead of next year's big event. Finally, the chairman of the Tourism Board, Chief Dion Goute, has therefore implored the various ministries involved to put hands on deck to boost and enhance the tourism potentials.
The Network for Women Living with Disabilities paid a visit to an orphanage in Kumba recently, donating basic food items to the motherless kids. According to these donors, this benevolence or this act is part of the week-long commemoration or celebration of former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela. Tamfo Sidwan Dimbie completes the story.
The Cameroon Network for Women with Disabilities has visited the Hope Center Orphanage in Kumba and has donated food items, bedding materials and toiletries as their quota to support the motherless children.
So we decided to come and visit and tell the orphanage that the orphans, I'm also an orphan, I don't have mother, I don't have.
This was part of the week-long activities to commemorate the Nelson Mandela International Day 2021. Addressing the orphans, the leader of the Cameroon Network for Women with Disabilities, Ntoko Virginie, stated that they cannot celebrate the Mandela Day without thinking of the orphans.
And in the commemoration of Nelson Mandela Day, we women with disability, we decided to come together to wipe away the tears of our children called the orphans. Even though they are the orphans, we are also mothers. We came here to tell them that despite that they call them orphan, they are not orphan, because we are all together. We came here to show them some love. We came there to wipe their tears away and give them our small token of everything we have to support them.
The promoter of the orphanage, who has equally been into charity work, said he was happy with the Network for Women with Disabilities and said he was even surprised that persons with disabilities could give support to those who are not physically challenged.
Because I don't expect this visit from you people. I expect instead it could be a blessing to you people.
Amen.
The commemoration ended in pomp and fanfare.
The 6th edition of Impact Talks, organized by Go Ahead Africa Limited, has been held. The edition took place under the theme Strategic Management as Tool of Fostering Growth and the Sustainability of Enterprises. LASHA Kinsley reports.
Strategic management is an indispensable tool in the growth and sustainability of companies. This was the focus of the 6th edition, Season 3 of Impact Talks, a monthly leadership training conference for top and middle management of companies, an initiative of Go Ahead Africa Limited. Leadership coach Roland Kwemen highlights the importance of strategic management.
It's important for managers to have mid-term and long-term strategy. We are very, very operational. And when we are too operational, we have the tendency to just do things now, and finish now. But it's important for us to have time to reflect, to withdraw, and to project our organization, to project our business.
Roland Kwemen explains further that for companies to grow and be sustainable, 3 key things must be taken into consideration.
It's important to have planning, proper planning. Number 2, to have a better organization. Who is doing what are the tools, what are the strategies? The third one is the staffing. How do we recruit? Which type of collaborator do we need in this current situation and even for tomorrow? How do we anticipate? The other element is about controlling. We should control and have clear audit of our organization. That's better than this. It's about evaluation.
One of the main speakers of the conference shares his 25 years of experience in the oil and gas sector when it comes to strategic management.
My message was to explain, especially to the young, that they have their place in our business. We really want to develop something with them. I don't think that we can do such a thing alone. It's not possible. They have a place. We don't have to always blame them. They don't have the chance that we had when we were young. Many things has changed, and we also have to be part of this development.
Participants were also schooled on the importance of investing in human resource.
I think one of the things that came out clearly is the investment in the human resource, who are actually the ones to enforce the vision of the owner of the company. So if you think long term and you don't have a team that you have invested in to implement your vision, then it is just thinking in the air.
The session ended with question and answers from participants online and in the conference hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate your kind attention. See you on Monday at 6:30 for another edition. The news was coordinated by Lasha Kinsley, produced by EWANE Airline NOLINGA. My name is Belgian Blanche King. Stay tuned at 7 p.m. You'd have a new edition of Prime Hour with Kim Leonard. Happy viewing, happy weekend, and good night.
Like what we are observing with our MPs today, people think that an MP's role is to come and do micro project grants, not knowing that what is expected of them is to make laws. The case, especially the case of the Southwest and Northwest regions, a special status is given, and that these regional councils are supposed to ensure the strict respect of the subsystem of education and the judiciary. We are talking about common law.
L'osmose inverse est un système de filtrage d'eau ultra performant qui ne laisse passer que les molécules d'eau. Ce système de filtrage révolutionnaire est désormais présent en Afrique grâce au groupe Exosa Afrique à travers l'eau osmosée Exosa. Une eau de haute qualité pour la santé. Elle est recommandée aux personnes de tout âge. Faiblement minéralisée, elle assure la protection du rein. Légère et fluide, l'eau osmosée Exosa facilite la digestion, hydrate parfaitement les cellules et assure une meilleure oxygénation du cerveau, le drainage et la purification du sang et des organes. Ma santé plus avec l'eau osmosée Exosa. Enfin, une eau de haute qualité pour la santé.
My Black Crown, MBC. We deal in the sales and delivery of top quality American products and accessories for all natural hair care needs. For nappy hair, we sell products and brands such as hand